everybody, so new review today. We're talking about the upcoming horror film Old. As we all know, this film comes to us from M.Night Shyamalan. It's probably one of the more polarizing directors working today, as his filmography is very divisive, but I think that's what makes him so interesting, is he is not afraid to swing for the fences every time he directs a film, and we got that once again with this film Old. In Old, we follow a family on a tropical holiday that discovers that the secluded beach that they're relaxing on somehow is causing them to age rapidly, causing their entire lives to be reduced to a single day. I can absolutely see this being yet another divisive M. Night Shyamalan film. It just has all the workings that makes a divisive film in itself. What I think Old really excels at is its build up to all of its horror elements. Despite the concept of the film being so simple in that it's just people aging on a beach, Shyamalan somehow manages to keep the tension up and build upon what's transpiring on this beach and just gives us a general sense of uneasiness as more time progresses with this set of characters, and we don't really have a lot of time. Time is of the urgency in this film, as all of this stuff kind of takes place during one single day. It's very easy to get swept up in this idea because it is such a fun concept, of course, from the outside looking in, because I wouldn't want to be on this beach, but just finding out the mystery of why are all these people aging, I think that does add that level of fun, mystery, and suspense. I found the usage of time in Old to be actually quite clever and used effectively. As I said, just as a concept, rapidly aging is definitely a fear that I think a lot of people could relate to, just because a lot of people as a whole don't like getting old. I actually was really surprised at the amount of body horror elements that were actually introduced into this, because it's quite gnarly, some of the stuff that we do see, as we see how aging affects every single person on this island differently, and it made for some actual haunting moments. This is also probably one of Shyamalan's better shot films in recent memory. Of course, it does help that we are on this beautiful island, but I did like the way that he experimented with various different techniques in his filming for Old, and also just the use of sound design. I thought the sound design as a whole actually really enhanced a lot of the really tense and scary situations. As far as the cast goes, I think for the most part all of them were quite solid. Some of them really didn't have a whole lot to do because they kind of got aged out of the film, no pun intended. Each of them had varying levels of effectiveness, but I do think that the overall best of the cast is the main family that we do follow, including Thomas and Mackenzie and Alex Wolff, since they do eventually play those characters as they're aged up. Some of the characters do kind of go over the top cheesy at certain points, but I don't know if that's particularly because the characters are getting crazy as they get older, or if it's just clunky, bad dialogue, because Shyamalan's not always been the strongest when it comes to his dialogue exchanges in his films. A fair amount of the dialogue exchanges don't feel very natural outside of the main family, and the way that we go over exposition in the film is also just very eye-rolling, as it's pretty much just a kid going up to people and asking what their name and their occupation is. Our character will just overshare all the details about their life just randomly to another character. You know, stuff like that. Stuff like that just doesn't feel very natural. The film isn't actually all horror, however. This is kind of like a family drama mixed with body horror elements as these people age. When we do focus on those dramatic elements between this married couple, I actually thought it was actually quite effective. Like with any film from M. Night Shyamalan, there is a big twist in the film, which I won't spoil for you guys, but I will say I'm a little bit unsure about how I feel about it, because of course it does make sense in the context of the story. I kind of harken back to some of the more cheesy M. Night Shyamalan twists. I do realize this is actually based off a graphic novel, so I'm not aware if the actual twist is in the actual graphic novel or not, or it's just orchestrated for the film, but it did remind me of a lot of the more cheesy M. Night Shyamalan twists that we've seen in the past. Like always, M. Night Shyamalan swings for the fences with his films, and overall, I think that M. Night Shyamalan did a pretty solid job here with Old. I think here he found a healthy balance, crafting a fun horror drama, but also having some interesting creepy elements as well, which I think is a really good mix for M. Night Shyamalan. Like with a lot of M. Night Shyamalan films, I do worry that people will go in this preconceived notion because M. Night Shyamalan has had some pretty bad films in the past, but I do think if you go in this with an open mind and just looking for a fun, cheesy, kind of campy horror drama, I think you're actually going to have a lot of fun with Old when you get a chance to check it out. Now you've heard my thoughts on Old. Make sure you share your thoughts down below. What do you think of the film when you get a chance to check it out? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think this is a return to form for M. Night Shyamalan? Are you not a fan of this film? Where would you rank it among his filmography? I was thinking about doing a ranking for M. Night Shyamalan's films, but I'm probably not going to do that. Maybe in the next one. Either way, make sure you share your thoughts down below, because part of the fun is having the discussion with you guys in the comments just down below, because I put all these movies to you guys on the channel. Thank you so much for checking my reviews, though. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe button. We'll keep doing reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more on the channel. But next time, I'll see you guys later.